Giving Pittsburgh a better alternative.
Our very first ever No Restrictions live taping podcast last night at P-Town Bar, and it was really fun. And we were 20 minutes behind because of that. So sorry about that. Right off the bat, it is our actual birthday. We were 1 year old today on July 11th of last year. Our very first issue, which was arguably not our best looking issue, came out. We made a lot of improvements since then. But yeah, so thank you guys. I mean, I can't believe it's been a year. I don't know what I thought when we started it, but I could not believe that this is where it would be in a year. So thank all of you for your support, and happy birthday to us. Speaking of birthdays, I hope you come out to our best year ever party tomorrow night at the Flashlight Factory. We are an official Deutschtown Music Fest venue. Deutschtown, what's up? All weekend long. We have Identity X, we've got Victoria Fire, we've got Momana Dawn, and we've got this beautiful woman on our cover right now, Sierra Sellers, will also be playing. The party will be hosted by our guest today, the incredibly iconic Mr. Jim Krenn. We'll get to him in 1 second if he doesn't fall asleep on the couch. We're going to have Michelle James, adult film star Michelle James is going to be there. And we're actually going to be making a very special announcement with her. So make sure, and we're also going to have Twisted View, who's going to be doing some bondage demos. So if you've ever wondered, how do I tie up my partner? I got you covered, yo. You come to my party. It's going to be free food, free drinks. We're going to be auctioning off items. We've got a weekend and dinner at District Hotel. We've got a signed, personalized Rob Rogers print. We've got Jim Krenn will give you a personal hug. Oh, we have a professional cuddler coming. Do you need a hug? If Jim doesn't get to you, our professional cuddler, Crystal, well, it's a real thing. She's certified. So make sure you come out to our party. And now, without any further ado, and also because I need a sip of coffee, I'm going to introduce our guest, Mr. Jim Krenn.
Thanks, Bethany. I will be a hugger also.
Will you hug people as well?
I'm going to be a cuddler.
Yeah,
I want
it's
to be
a real thing.
I know. I like how you said certified.
She is.
I'm going to ask her how I can get certified. What school do I have to go to?
You have to go to Oregon. And yeah, she
Where?
just got certified in group cuddling.
Where do I have to go?
Oregon.
Really?
Oregon.
Yeah,
Oregon.
I did stand up in Portland a few months ago. I should have looked that up.
You should have looked
Maybe
it
it's
up.
In Portland. I could imagine it being in Portland. But yeah, I think I could do that. That'd be a great job.
Yeah.
Well, I think most of the time.
But I mean, you can pick and choose your clients, I would imagine.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
you're not obligated to cuddle just any old person.
Well, I think if you're a pro,
you just
you bite your lip and you cuddle.
I mean, because there's got to be people like the professional massage therapists. They've got to have days where they're like,
you
oh,
don't want
Jesus
to do that
Christ,
one. Yes.
No, not this one.
There's somebody you just don't want to do.
You just don't want to do it.
And I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm a cuddler, I'm going to be a professional cuddler.
Just anybody.
I don't care. I commit.
You'll be with one tomorrow night. You can talk to her about it.
Oh, I can't wait.
You guys can start Krenn and Cuddles. I
Krenn
love
and
it.
Cuddles. It'll be in all the malls.
All the malls.
Uh-huh.
You have a kiosk.
I wanted in. Well, yes, I was thinking maybe near Brookstone or places like that. You could walk by, I'll cuddle you, and we could cuddle in Brookstone on the bed.
You could cuddle in Brookstone.
Do you ever go to Brookstone and they have that special space bed thing? I literally go in there and nap.
Just lay down.
I've done it. Yeah.
I was a Sharper Image gal myself.
Oh, I love Sharper Image too.
So
I napped there too a couple times.
Yeah, I go to Claire's. I'd buy my toxic lead infused earrings.
Oh,
and then I would go,
nice.
Yeah, they shut
really?
down. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nice toxic earrings.
Toxic earrings. That's why
there's
a whole generation.
Speaking of toxic, I will tell you right now, I am the reason we're late. And I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I was.
We
ill.
were giving Jim. Listen, full disclosure. Nobody that knows me will be shocked by this. We were giving Jim shots of Fireball last night.
And I haven't drank in a while. It's not like I had a lost my AA chip or anything. I just haven't drank that hard in a while. Yeah, it's like 3 years clean and Bethany
did it.
Ruined it. But no, I was I haven't drank hard, let's say, in a while.
Well, you had Phil Bork with you. What else were you going to do?
Brought back memories.
So we taped live at P-Town Bar on Baum Boulevard, Jim's No Restrictions podcast with special guest Phil Bork, which was just amazing.
That was so much fun, right?
Yeah.
He's
guys
great.
got to tune in Monday at noon to watch this episode because Phil has some stories.
And And the Would You Rather questions with Sirenny and Phil.
Yes.
Pretty intense. Pretty
yes,
fun.
we did. Yeah, they did a Would
Very
You Rather
fun.
segment.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, you should
Great
check out
time.
Jim's podcast no matter
But
what.
we were drinking hard, man. It was great. And I Ubered, so no driving
Yep.
going on. So
Yep, Uber all the way, or
I
Lyft, Uber,
just
Lyft.
don't know why I like these Fireball things, and I don't know why.
I don't know why I do either. By the way,
them.
if Fireball wants to sponsor us,
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, people were buying at the bar. Let's do shots. I'm like, okay.
yeah.
why-
Well, everybody was so excited to see you, and everybody was in a very festive mood, and the show went great. I mean, how did it feel?
It was great.
To tape
A lot
in
of
front of a
fun.
live audience like
It was
that.
wonderful. Oh, I love it.
I mean,
Love
the
it.
energy had to like
Nothing
infuse
better
you.
than live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being a stand-up, that background.
Yeah.
Sirenny's a performer also live, so yeah, I was. we
She's
were
also
talking-
late for work, by the way.
Well, we're all. Everyone's gonna be running a little
I
bit
was
late.
on time. I was here on time.
I don't know how I got here. I just got out of the shower and jumped in the Uber to get here. I woke up and Larry, my Chihuahua, my 5-pound Chihuahua, I woke up with Larry on my chest staring at me like Hannibal Lecter or something. You know, hello, Clarice. You grew up on a farm, didn't you? This weird stare. Where's my food? I don't care if you're doing fireballs. Where's my food? Like, he really scared me. So I got him his food and got here.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, good.
You-
Everything's
me,
good.
Me and Mike were catching up. Mike's over here at Sorgatron Media, where we do our Pittsburgh Current podcast. And we do
Well-
some from our studio, but we love coming down here with Mike. If
I
you're
got-
ever the market for a podcast, check out Sorgatron Media.
I am going to come here, Mike, if it's okay, just to sit in this couch, the sofa.
If Jim nods off during
I
this
this is the
podcast, we're
biggest
tapping Mike
sofa.
in.
My God, I am like
I know.
swallowed up in
That's
this
why
thing.
I have to sit here. If I
I'm like-
sit over there, I get too cozy.
I may not be able to get out of this sofa at all. I may have to be stuck here for days.
Jim Krenn has just moved to Beachview, ladies and
Just
gentlemen.
about to call somebody to get me out of here.
So how did you become friends with Phil? Because Phil Bork, the old 2-9er, who is amazingly funny, by the way, and amazingly nice. How did you guys become friends?
Well, I'll tell you, Phil Bork and Merle Hodge were part of two nicest, like, athlete people, whatever. So athletes, celebrities, a lot of, I know a lot of athletes, and they're all very nice. I've become friends with a lot of guys through through DVE,
Right.
working on a morning show, and we'd have them on as guests, regular guests during, for regular Penguin or
Right.
regular, Steeler and all that, and Pirate, and all the guys were just fantastic. But, some about Phil and Merle, but Phil and I just really bonded as friends, and he's just the most down-to-earth human being, as you know.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
can meet.
honestly, and he's still a good-looking dude too.
He is the man.
He is the man.
He is the man. Trust me. Trust me. We all wait. We just want to get his overflow. He's the man. He's the
he
he's
was
funny
incredibly
as,
nice.
Funny
but-
as hell too.
So you guys, like hang out?
We did. We used to hang out all
Yeah,
the time. We
yeah.
partied all the time. Oh yeah, and we closed down a few bars in the city.
He did not do any shots of Fireball with us.
No, he was calm. He was
Yeah.
a little calmer.
He did have his beers though. He had,
Just
what was
keep
your
his
buddy? What was
composure.
your buddy's name?
Oh,
Was it
Harry.
Bork?
Harry was feeding the beer. It was great.
Bork would just his beer would be out from stage. He'd be like,
And boom, Harry was up there with the beer, man. It was,
everybody needs a Harry in their life.
Harry's the greatest, by the way. Yeah. He did scare me.
I want to remind people too watching, if you've got a question for Jim
Mm-hmm.
or for me or like Fireball shot recommendation, just drop it in the Facebook
Or
comments.
you have a hangover cure.
Hangover cure. I'm just drinking coffee like it's my job. You were like, I'm running late. I'm like, yes, I can stop drinking coffee. Ooh,
Feeling
life
good
is
though. I'm feeling better.
All right, so I want to talk about young Jim Krenn. Let's go back. Right?
Little boy.
Little boy.
Little boy
Little
Jim
tiny
Krenn.
baby Jim.
Little boy.
When did you know? I mean, I know you obviously were a DJ for years and years, but
Right. Mm-hmm.
at your core, you're a comedian. I mean, even when you were doing that, it was comedy.
It's all about comedy.
It's
yeah.
all about comedy.
Mm-hmm.
My entire life is a comedy. When did you realize like that was your calling?
Well, senior year in high school, I was our talent show for the school was at the beginning of the year. So it was like say it was September or whatever. And I was very quiet throughout my entire high school life. My sports were even individual, kind of, I boxed. So I was very quiet. I had a few friends. That was it. And my friends, John Jordan and Jim Hickey, we'd sit in the lunchroom, like, for before class started in the morning. And I would do impressions of the football coaches. And I would do impressions of teachers. And they would cry laughing. And I did a few celebrity people too. I'm like 16 or 17, whatever you are, going into your senior year. But and they're laughing hysterically all the time. I did it for a couple of years, through my high school days. And I go in, beginning of senior year, and they go, hey, you're in the talent show next week. And I go, you got to be kidding me. I'm going to get in front of people. And they said, no, you're in a talent show because you're going to do your impressions and stuff. And just get up there. I said, no. It was like, no, talent show is typical talent show, like 20 kids. And there's always the kid who's the opera singer, right? There's always the pianist, there's always the mime or whatever. There's always great talent. And they did have great talent. And I was last. I was like 20th or something, whatever. I didn't want to do it. I thought, I got to do this. I guess they said they'd be mad at me. I only had a few friends. I don't want to lose my few friends. A couple.
You don't want Hickey being pissed.
No. But I thank them till this day. So I went to the lunchroom where the football coaches hung out, the teacher/football coaches. I did the impression for them because it was going to be harsh. It was going to be edgy. And they okayed it. They laughed, and they said, you could do that. I said, okay. And one of the coaches was the late, wonderful guy, one of my favorite teachers that he ended up being, Ray Delilah. And anybody who went to North Catholic knows who I'm talking about. He was just a nice guy. He was a great teacher, disciplinarian. He looked like a Marine. Picture that crew cut thing, and he was like 5'2" and 5'2" wide kind of guy. And he liked to yell. And this was the days where, you could smack a kid and it was okay.
You could still get the spanking.
Yes. And he would teach. And so I did this bit about how he would always call me up, and other kids too, but I was usually the one. And a lot of kids knew it. I wasn't the best student. And I'd get like my bad grade in history and some exam. And the way his office was, he had a window overlooking a convenience store that was called Sloopy's on Troy Hill. And it's where people hung out, just weird kind of characters were all hanging out in front of the store, getting high or whatever they were doing. And I would get my exam back, and Mr. Delilah would be staring out the window quietly as everyone looking at their exam. You'd hear him. Now remember, I picture that 5'2", 5'2" wide, solid muscle, crew cut, gap in his teeth. So when he talked, he spit. The spit comes spewing out. And he sounded exactly like this. And he was staring out, like pondering, almost like meditation. And I knew he was in trouble when he'd go, hey, Krenn, come up here right now. Like that. I'm like, oh, God. That's going to be trouble. And I come up real sheepish, and I'm all afraid. And yes, Mr. Delilah. He goes, okay. I want you to look outside. Look in the street corner over there. You see Sloopy's? Yes. You see that guy in the corner with the T-shirt on and the cigarettes rolled up in his sleeve and a Colt 45 in his hand? You see that guy? He's a loser. That's you in 10 years. 10 years. That's you, Krenn. If you don't get it together. And I'd be like, so sorry.
So that inspired you?
Yeah, it scared me. But
I want to be
I did that bit and a few others. We had, this guy who's great, a Southern, I came from South Carolina. He's a health teacher. And he just talked about VD every time. Every class. So they went to VD's a nasty animal. Nobody wants VD. We never had sex yet. What? Like, what's VD? We're trying to get VD, pal. You don't want VD's ugly, Mr. Krenn. So I did that, did a few impressions anyway. I get I'm doing it was a Napoleon Dynamite moment. Really was. I'm walking off. My head. I did my 10 minutes. I'm walking off. My head's down. The MC grabs me and said, "You got to come out." I go, "Oh, they're standing for you." So I went out, and there's 1,800 people in the auditorium, and they got like a 5-minute standing ovation, and that was unbelievable. The euphoria. I had never felt anything like the euphoria of that audience, and I was like, "What is this?" And I thought, "Man, that's amazing." And it lasts about 48 hours, as every performer knows, or whatever you want it again. So at that moment, I knew I may have something. And then I went out, and there was something called the Gong Show on back then. So
I remember the Gong Show.
The Gong Show. Okay, so the Gong Show.
You young ones, Google it.
It was the Star Search or the American Idol or America's Got
Talent of our day.
Of the time.
And it had
Yeah.
included an actual gong.
Yeah, those shows
You just don't see a lot of gongs anymore.
yeah, they reemerged those shows basically. The same.
They'll do a
same
reboot
show.
of it eventually.
It's kind of a stupid show, but what was happening? So popular bars around Pittsburgh were doing gong shows, talent shows. Some underage, and me and my buddy Kenny, Robert, Woldensky, and Mikey and Richie and Dave, all of us guys, we're underage. But for some reason, they find out because I signed up, they let us in the bar and they would serve us. We're like, I can't believe this. So I go and I went to I think the Blarney Stone in Etna or some of those bars.
Oh, R.I.P. Blarney
Did
Stone,
Paskies
victim of
and the
Hurricane
Strip. I
Irma.
did a bunch. Yeah, that's cool. But I did. But anyway, we would go, and every week I would do a talent show. And if you won, you got, usually food and drink. You got like $100 worth of food, we have a restaurant, and drinks. So we drink and eat. And I won. I won 17 in a row.
Oh, wow.
And Kenny Woldensky counted them. That's why I remember that number, because he would count them as I was doing. So I won 17 in a row. So I thought, all right, I won 17 talent shows in a row with this thing, and then I started winning other talent shows at community college and at IUP, and started emceeing IUP. And I thought, I wish I could do this for a living. I still didn't know how. I had no idea.
You didn't even realize that was an option.
No.
What were you going to do before comedy's loving grip got a hold of you?
Well, I grew up in the Strip District on 12th Street, right across from the Greyhound bus station, Caddy Corner. And my goal was to be the manager of the cafeteria in the Greyhound bus station. So
Dream big, Jim.
I was trying. So I overshot my dreams. I never could complain. But I had a Bachelor of Science in Business at IUP, so I guess I don't know how I would do in a corporate. I'd be the worst. I'm the worst
cafeteria
business
manager.
guy. Any corporation, I don't know who would hire me. But so I thought, well, I guess I'll go into business like everyone else. I had a bachelor's degree in business, and it just didn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
I thought that could be money, I'm sure, and all that.
Like,
I'm
I've
sure
won
it's-
17 goddamn talent shows. I'm
yeah,
not.
and it's secure and all that. And I just thought, can't do it. I said, I just can't do it. I got to try this somehow. But I didn't know how.
So then how did you, I mean, was DV your first
No.
your first DJ gig?
Oh, no.
I mean,
Yeah, first DJ gig. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is about 6 years before DV, 7 years.
Yeah.
What happened was I graduated from college and I was lucky. The comedy club boom just starts. Comedy clubs in every city, major clubs. You're working Wednesday through Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's one club. In those days, there was like 3 and 4 clubs because they were making money hand over fist. These clubs, the cable TV was not as big. Comedians weren't on cable. You may have Robin Williams or someone on HBO back then, or Billy Crystal or someone, whoever it was hot then, but it wasn't like now. So the only place you could see a comedian that you see now, like you watch Jim Jeffries or someone on Netflix,
Yeah.
the only place in those days you could see, Bill Maher, Jerry Seinfeld, Leno, or whoever, was to go to a comedy club. Mm-hmm. And they paid well. The deal was, and it's still about the same today, the MC made probably about $200 plus expenses. Middle acts make about $850 plus expenses. Headliner make about $2,000 plus expenses. So obviously you're trying to get the headline.
Yeah.
So I couldn't believe it. So I went and auditioned at the Pittsburgh Comedy Club. There was like 40 people auditioning. I don't know. I had a hot set, I guess, because they said, you got it. So Dennis Miller,
Keystone Oaks grad.
Keystone Oaks grad, was the house MC there, and he was going on the road at the time more, getting into New York, and so they needed 2 weeks for an MC. He was the house MC to take his gig for 2 weeks a month, and so I remember the guy was leaving the place, and he said, "Hey, you got it." I'm like, "Oh, okay, thank you." So he hired me, and that took off from there. I started there. That's how I was able to make a living. I got through the first year as an MC, I was like, if I could be an MC the rest of my life, I'm good. And fortunately, it took about 3 years I was headlining, because I remember that I didn't even think about it. I remember sitting in an airplane and was flying to Fort Myers. I remember for this club.
I love Fort Myers. We've
yeah, I
been
remember.
down there.
And I said, "Wow!" I said, "It's really interesting." I was driving 3 years ago to these little bars and clubs, and now I'm flying. So this is pretty cool. And that was that. And I was ready to go. And then I started working out at Dangerfields in New York, and I was ready to move to LA. And before I moved to LA, I come back home, because I was living here on and off, because I was on the road so much. I wasn't home a lot. So So I got to come home for a few months because L.A. is not the same as New York. It's gonna be harder to get back. My grandmother and great grandmother were alive at the time, and and family, a lot of family and friends here, obviously. So I come back, and I'm here for a few months, and I do graffiti club in Oakland, and I was fortunate. I was able to have for some reason I was building a draw here over those years, just the word of mouth draw or whatever. And so I sold out graffiti, and they said, it's sold out. You have to go on WDVE to promote the show. It's just part of a deal we have. I said, sold out. I said, you still got to go on. I said, all right.
I'm just sell tickets.
So I got to get up early. I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking, I don't want to get up early.
Were you doing shots of Fireball the night before?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure I was back then. And so I don't know anything about radio. I have no idea what the game is. I have no idea what market size we are or any of that stuff. But at the time, what happened was Jimmy and Steve were the morning show a few years earlier. They had left on a contract dispute. When they left, DVE fell to 17th in the market out of 20 stations.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't know this. I had no idea. So they were going to get flipped. They were bought by Hanna-Barbera. Flip means whatever's hot, they were going to become.
Yeah.
New station of some sort, whatever. The company was just biding time, getting their ducks in order. Within 6-7 months, it was going. As I found out later. So what happened was, I go in there in November, whatever it was, October, November of 1987, because 88 was when I was going to move, I remember. So I go in and I do impressions in characters, and so I did them. I'm leaving, and I remember leaving, going in the car, and the program director stops me down in the parking lot and says, hey, come on again, back on. I said, okay. Next week. I liked it. Because remember, I'm doing stand-up. I'm working 5 nights a week doing stand-up, 2 shows Friday, 2 or 3 on Saturday. So I'm doing a lot of stand-up. And stand-up's a lot different, man. It's intense. It's really intense. And when we're getting paid like that, you have to really, you can't do bad. You have to do good. You'll get fired. So this was just different. It was easy. It's It's conversations.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is, pat yourself on the back when you're done. That was fun. The audience lets you know instantly you're doing stand-up. So I said, all right, I'll come back. So I did it again. Now, being 17th in the market, no one cares, and there's not a lot of ad time, so you get long stretches of talk. It's almost like a podcast.
Just like a podcast.
You could say anything but the F word back then too. The FCC was loose, and I thought this is intriguing to me. And I go on, and in about 2 months or whatever it was time to go to L.A., I said, I'm ready to go. I was in a meeting, and I said, I'm leaving. There's no way I could stay. And they said, now, please, why don't you stay? I said, no, can't. I'm sorry. I don't want to do it. And they gave me this crazy amount of money. And I just go, okay, I'll stay for a little bit. This is home.
I didn't sign a lease in LA yet.
Yeah, I can always go to LA.
It'll still be there.
I get a lot nicer place. I said, sure, I'll try it. So I thought I'd do it for maybe a year.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Yep. And so the ratings first 3 months went from 17 to 8th, jumped. And then in about a year, it was number 1 dominating throughout every ratings book. Just crazy numbers. But and then never looked back, never lost. Fortunately, I was lucky, part of some great shows, but I never lost the ratings book in the morning for 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was February 88 I signed, and was officially released February 2012, but off the air by the end of the year in 11, but officially, so 25 years, close to 25 years.
Do you enjoy sleeping in now? No.
I got it. It's funny. You get used to doing the show, and you don't do it for money. I was fortunate to make a lot of money, but you don't. You do. You love to perform.
Yeah.
And there's something about the adrenaline of doing it. You just didn't care. My body was beat, especially at the end, because the type of show we did was I wanted to do Saturday Night Live on the radio, and that's what they let me do. Characters, slug lines. So I came with Ben Klinks, the Mall Guard, Ralph the Cat, Stanley Pikachowski, Seal, Otis. Then I did certain people like Sophie or different, celebrities and stuff, made regular characters, Pansanat skits. But I wrote a lot of that. And so the grind was the right constant. So there's a lot of expectation, and so it wears on you after, I'd say wear. I was able to do it, but I think it was like getting like Groundhog Day in a way too for me. And you've done it 25 years. And so I do enjoy, it's not so much as sleeping in. I think it gave me a new life to do new things like podcasting, stand up, answer cards, acting. It just gave me a new life to express things in different ways. I missed the audience. I missed the audience.
So do you find, obviously people, of course, my age know you. I mean, how do you find like people that maybe weren't really aware of you when you were on DVE? I mean, do they still know who Jim Krenn is? How are you dealing with that?
Well, I've
with
only
that
been
demo?
off the air about 7 years now, and it was always in the top 3, 18 to 34. So there are a lot of younger listeners still, maybe in their 20s now or later 20s. There are younger, there's a younger audience out there that I love to tap into and perform for. Everybody wants that challenge of getting performing for people that don't know you, which I do get that when I go to Los Angeles or when I work out of the city. So that's a lot of fun.
So are you still traveling then? I mean,
I do,
because you're still doing a ton of stand up. So you've got your podcast,
obviously.
obviously.
I travel to LA every few months or so, and I do some comedy clubs here and there. Did Portland maybe a few months ago. Did comedy festivals. Did one in San Luis Obispo about 7-8 months ago. But so I do love performing outside the city. Also, it's not much different. People think, oh, it's different. It really isn't. The Pittsburgh humor that I do is maybe in an hour, 1 hour show, it may be 8 minutes of the hour, 10, and it stands out a little bit. That's all. But it really isn't that difficult to maneuver jokes to become outside the market.
Yeah, every single market has something you can make fun of, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Well, it's funny in LA. My buddy Mark Eddy, who I work with,
I remember him.
he's brilliant, and so we'll work together a lot when I go out there. And I'll go out there for a couple weeks and we'll do clubs together. And if it's a smaller room, at the end of the show, Mark will have me go up and do Stanley Pikachowski and for the LA audience.
You've got to have people, your diehards, that are like,
It
oh,
works.
do what's the impression or the character that you get asked to do the most when you're out and about?
Ralph the Cat.
I was gonna say
The
Ralph.
Cat Ralph. You want to burn one, man? Yeah, he was based off my roommate in college, Bullwinkle. Bullwinkle was always high, man. It's unbelievable. I was his roommate. He had so much weed. I didn't know. To be honest, I used to joke and had an image of like I was a partier, but I was really never a big partier, and I rarely got high or anything. But I got to tell you, if I got arrested back then at IUP, I'd be getting out of jail just now. He had that much weed all day. But it's crazy. But anyway, so he was the character. He had this voice, real like skittish guy, man, he's paranoid and just always high, So I do the character all the time, and just for friends, and I bring it on stage sometime with no name, just did the character. I didn't know what to do with it, and then I adopt Ralph the Cat, an Animal.
What made you go with Cat?
Well, I'm at Animal Friends.
Yes, I did.
And I see this cat Ralph, and I go, "Who's that?" And he's a half tabby, half Angora. His hair sticking up everywhere. His eyes are round. And this one, Animal Friends, was in the Strip District, a small place. And I go, "What's his deal?" I go, "He's a lifer. The Animal Friends in the kill
Nobody's
shelter."
adopting this cat.
And I got sent back 4 times. I go, 4 times. I go, "Yeah, he's a lifer. Ralph's a lifer." I said, I think I could take him. I said, "I'm kind of weird. He's kind of weird. We fit in together." And so I took Ralph, and as I'm leaving, they gave me, I never had a catnip. They gave me this bag of catnip, and it looks like weed. You got to see it. They gave me a huge bag of cat. I didn't know what it was. I'm not kidding. I remember Judy.
Like, these cats come with weed.
Yes. Because he can me. Judy's like,
you'd have a lot more cats adopted. I tell you that.
And
That's
I
a
thought that was like,
marketing
I thought there was some code. Which gave me, here's your cat. Here's your cat.
Here's your cat.
And I went, wow, that's an interesting policy. And Animal Friends. You get a bag of weed if you
You should
adopt
see
them.
what you get if you adopt a dog.
I know. I'm like, what is that?
Here's
And,
a brick of cocaine. Enjoy your pet.
and they're like, yeah, exactly. It's like Scarface if you adopt the dog. And they said, well, you get catnip. And Ralph loves catnip. I took it. I said, what do you mean? I said, oh, he loves it. He has to have it. He has to have it?
He's tweaking out. That's
He
why his eye
has
looks like
to
that.
have it. And he did. I give him his little sock and he'd go nuts and put catnip in it. He lived for catnip. We had a 3-story house. I could see Ralph in the 3rd story last. If I was downstairs and opened Tupperware in the fridge with it, man, he'd be straight there, man.
Nip.
Yeah, I know you got more of that. Hand me the catnip now.
So
And
that's
leave me
obviously
some
that's the genesis of the character.
Yep, that was So yeah, he would get high and with that catnip, he had a glaze. He had a glaze to him, man. Like, I'm gonna like it here, man. Like, that's my thought was as soon as I looked at him, I said, that's you. You're that. I was looking for a vent for the voice. I go, that's you, Ralph. You're that voice. You're that character. So I went into the studio the next day and said, I'm going to call in as my cat. And like everything else, they say, you're out of your mind. What? We can't do that. So let's try it. And sure enough, I caught him pretty quick.
So have you ever had any clunkers, like just characters that just missed the mark?
Many. Yeah, many. I
Yeah.
don't remember them. I forget them, but I did have
Yeah,
them.
but we're not going to talk about that.
I remember I used to have sneak characters on. So I'd be told in meetings not to do Ben Clinks and Mulgar and a few times and different when they were first started because until it is established, the people around you don't understand what you're doing. They're going to be nervous.
Yeah.
This could mess up what you have because the ratings are great. You're going to mess it up with these.
We don't want to be 17th again, Jim.
Yeah, we don't want this character. We're going to lose
No
ratings.
Mulgars, Jim.
They all got to be this, so I would just sneak them on until all of a sudden we were fortunate. Like, that's what was so cool about doing P-Town Tavern with our podcast was that we started doing live because of my stand-up background, obviously, back then in the skits we did, like, Saturday Night Live type skits. It worked live, and that was able to ease everybody's mind because when I would do maybe a newer character, you'd get the reaction from the people of laughter, and they would see that, and they go, oh, okay. It must work.
I guess it would be
okay.
hard if if you are on radio, right? You're just in the studio. You can't see people's reactions real time, right? So
No.
you've got to wait to gauge how well you did.
And
I
the
mean, when
people
you're
around
live.
me, even if it's funny in my head, they're around me, they're guessing.
Oh yeah, I think things are funny in my head all the time.
Like Seal's a 72-year-old lady who had a laundromat in Squirrel Hill. She took the longest to catch on for me. People just thought, then all of a sudden she just caught me. Honey.
Is she one of your favorites?
Seal is one of my favorites. I just pictured a cigarette and a little hairnet. It's reminded my like of my aunts. That's a Pittsburgh aunt.
Oh yeah.
That's Seal. We all have an aunt.
We all have one of those.
We all have an aunt Seal. Everybody got an aunt Seal, man.
Hello, honey. How are you? Get over here.
I give you a big kiss on the head. Thanks,
so-
Aunt Seal.
So what do you really? I mean, what are you going to focus on now for? I mean, because you're not done. You're busy as hell. I know this. What are you really trying to get? What's your 5-year plan? What's your Jim Krenn 5-year plan for success and world domination?
Well, yes, she would take over the world like Dr. Evil. But it's it's one of those things as a performer. Every performer does this. They sit there and say, all right, now what I want to do. And I felt, going back to when I started and whether I started on DVE or whatever, there was a lot of fear and fear of the unknown, fear of trying new things, fear of being criticized. And then you have to say, screw it. And I remember that. And that's what I do, reinventing myself. Been reinventing myself, a couple different ways.
You got a tattoo?
Several years. Yeah, I got a tattoo, and you can't be afraid to change. And that's what I'm excited to be with. The Pittsburgh Current. Congratulations on the 1 year.
Thank you.
Isn't that cool?
I'm excited to party tomorrow night. I will not give you shots of
God.
Fireball unless you ask.
I think I'll need them. I'll be ready. Oh yeah, I'll be good. 24
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
Give me some
You'll
Gatorade,
recover.
I'm
You'll
in.
recover by then.
Oh, crackers and Gatorade. I will be 100%. Oh, you're looking for fireballs and stuff.
Oh, yeah, and
whatever.
I think Sarah finally made it into the office. So Sarah's Jim's co-host and
Congratulations.
our marketing and admin coordinator.
And yes,
Who she was very rudely making fun of your teeth last night.
she makes fun of me all the time.
You've got wonderful
She's very
teeth, Jim.
mean.
Don't you let her get
She's
you
a
down.
very mean person.
She is a very mean
Don't
person.
Let her fool you.
Do you want me to fire
She's
her?
got this whole front. No,
No, I'm just kidding.
I
I love her.
I
I'm
need
just
her
kidding.
meanness. I need her meanness to get me, keep me focused.
But no, your
No,
teeth are
she's-
great. I hope she
she's not
didn't
me,
make you
she's a
feel.
sweetie. But yeah, no, she just likes to agitate me.
It's
That's
okay.
her
You
fun.
guys have great chemistry on the
Yeah,
show,
she's
so
a great
it helps.
person. Friends, for a while here, and so yeah, she's good, very talented. I saw her she had a show called The Party Show
Yes.
years ago, a few years back, and that's when I met her. And I saw that, and I was like, wow, I saw what she was doing. It's really difficult to do, to host a live show, and it's not that it was what she was doing; it was her style. Believe it or not, it reminded me of a little bit of a female Carson in a weird way. I liked that she was likable, had the wit, had a little edge, but yet was still mainstream enough. She had a little combination, edge and mainstream. So I remembered that, and that's why with the reinvention of this, podcast, I'm lucky she can do the show with me. So I think she's great.
It was great last night. You guys, like I said, you got great chemistry. It was a really good juxtaposition because she definitely is she brings a different perspective,
Yes,
right? I mean,
yes.
you can be a lot of things. You
Yeah.
cannot be a woman. It's
No.
nice to have that
No.
little yin and yang
Do
there.
an
so-
impression we can't. No, I need. Yeah, I like that in the reinvention of this podcast. I do. It's one of the things I do like is having the female perspective of things.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot more fun.
Well, I'm telling people,
And
you
funny.
got to tune in Monday at noon to see the episode that was taped last night. And I mean, we're taking it on the road. I mean, we'll take it on the road again,
we're
right? I
gonna
mean,
do
it was fun to do
hopefully
that.
once a month. I think we should
Yeah,
do
I
that, and
definitely
once a
think
month do
so.
the fireballs and
Yeah,
and
once a month
everything.
do the
Once a month, I'll
fireballs.
be hungover.
Yeah.
I guess.
We won't schedule a 10 o'clock podcast for the next day.
I cannot believe I made it. I'm not kidding. I was literally on the floor.
I couldn't find my phone.
I was on the bathroom floor, like,
Casey, my boyfriend, busted an eye vessel.
my God.
Who do we think we are? Like, I'm in my 40s.
I
Like, I
was-
can't do that anymore.
I look like Tony Montana and Scarface at the end of the movie. Oh, go ahead, Frank. You're no good. They want to come with me, mess with me. Like that bad.
Was your dog like looking at you? Just
Oh,
was
Larry.
shamed, just like shaking his head, like the fuck.
Larry
dude?
just looks at me wide-eyed.
Larry was
Like,
so
what is
disappointed.
wrong with this man? Come on, get it together. Yeah, if Larry could talk, he'd be like, get it together. Come on.
Oh my God, it was worth it though. You know what? Little bit of a hangover today was worth the fun that we had last night. And P-Town was a fantastic bar too.
Yes.
So it used to be
Very welcoming.
Anthony's, the strip club, where
Oh,
I used to
God.
work there, not as a stripper. I was a cocktail waitress,
We were talking about
and I
this
made the
last night.
pizzas. They're famous
Okay,
pizzas.
nobody's going to believe this, but this is true. It was a strip joint, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to Anthony's. Me and my buddy Tommy, we'd go there for the pizza. Strippers were nice too. But I'm
Very
telling you,
nice.
the pizza was like the best pizza. Wasn't it?
It
Back me
was
up on
the
this.
yeah. And I made the pizza. The cocktail syrup. We had to make the
You
pizza.
made the pizza?
Yes, that was a part of our
It
job.
was
We
like
had to-
25 cents a slice.
Yeah, we had to. They had these big giant crusts, and then we'd have to like take these giant jars of sauce and put the cheese on, and they had like that one little
Why was
janky
it so
oven.
good? It was just.
Because I made it with love.
I
Jim.
mu- you
I made it
must
with
have.
love.
You must have. It was
I did.
amazing
I did.
pizza.
I did. I don't remember waiting on you. I'm sure I did. And I told you I had to kick Yancey Thigpen out once.
Wow.
The old Steeler.
Yes.
Yeah. He pulled the old "Do you know who I am?" on me. I'm like, yes, I do. And you're
that
not a
was-
good
what-
enough receiver to pull that shit. So bye.
What was he doing? What was he doing? You remember? Was he just
He was there
screaming
just-
or something? Or?
No, he was just there to see pizza. I'm assuming.
Oh wow. Well,
We got a lot of the Steelers came in there, believe it or not.
Well, we used to go to Anthony's. Like, they go to pizza a lot.
Yeah.
And like once a month or so. But as you go, you start observing the whole stripper community thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like the people, you work there, like the clients and stuff. So you just start observing these guys. There's always the weird guy in a corner by himself, up at a stage giving dollars and stuff, who actually believes he's going to date one of these women.
they feel like they are dating them
And there's-
sometimes.
yeah. Well, that's if he has enough dollars. I guess. I don't know.
You're my
But-
girlfriend.
Yes. And there's always that guy. There's it's a strange little atmosphere. I can't. How long did you work there?
I worked there. I was probably from
A year?
Probably
2
no,
years?
probably 2 years. Probably no, like from when I was 18 and a half till I was 20. And like
Well,
I
did
got
you
I got
know?
let go when I started showing because I was pregnant with my oldest son, and they were like, "Listen, we like you a lot. You're doing great work. You're a hell of a pizza maker, but
Pregnant.
I'm pregnant." Yeah,
It's not
so-
the look we're looking right now.
Yeah. So, but I made a shit
They
ton of
should've-
money.
they
Like, because
should've
it was
let
like the
you do
whole,
it.
I was fully clothed the whole time. But I think people like the dichotomy there. You
Well,
know,
I cannot believe they let you go because the pizza probably went down.
I know the pizza definitely. I mean, they closed soon thereafter.
Really? That's
Coincidence?
it. I stopped going probably because of the pizza.
Seriously,
was not
I'm sure the
same.
pizza suffered.
Did you know you have this ability to make the best pizza?
I didn't know.
Bethany?
It's my superpower.
I think you should make some. Can you make it for me?
Yeah, you want me to I'm pizza girl. I'm gonna make. We should
gotta
have
be
an
able-
Anthony's pizza party.
It can't be that
We'll
hard
do
to
it.
remake, right?
Well, yeah, so there was a woman owned it. Her name was Vivian, and then a woman owned the Cricket, Gloria.
Oh, I remember
and they
the
would
Cricket
sit
too,
at the
yeah.
bar. They would sit at the bar every night and just get fucking shit faced.
That's like that's where Seal would come
Yes.
from. Hello, honey.
Guys, can I
Bethany's-
get some pizza?
Bethany's making the pizza right now, honey.
Shake them titties, give me pizza.
Did you know she's pregnant? Her days are numbered here. When she shows, we have
Such
to
a
kick
shame.
her. We have to kick her out.
She made a hell of a pizza.
They made a great pizza. They don't want to give. They don't want to give dollars to her. She's
Yeah,
shelling.
I'm positive I waited on you. And I worked at the Funny
You're
Bone
positive
too. I'm
you waited on
positive
me.
I did. I'm positive I did kick you out once. I'm
You
just kidding.
probably did wait
I-
on me. I'm pretty sure you did. I'm sure. But you worked at the Bone. Too,
I worked at the Funny Bone when it was still inside of Station Square, and then I worked there.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
there
yeah.
for the transition when they moved.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that room.
Yeah.
The first one. Yeah. the
Yeah, I
inside one.
miss those days.
Yeah. It was fun.
It was really fun.
Do you remember me doing stand up there?
I don't know. I was in my 20s. I don't remember a lot.
It was a blur. Was there some? You don't remember a lot. Just the 20s. Forget
I just
it.
woke up at 32 oh, I've made a decent life for myself.
I can't believe
This is
I was making
amazing.
pizza at a strip train. It's like,
Yeah.
how'd this happen?
Yeah, see, I've
I
secretly
know what
been
you mean.
following you, Jim.
I'm still in a blur. My God, my 50s. I'm still blurred. I'm still. I never grew up. That's weird.
Don't grow up. That's
No,
boring.
I don't
no.
think I'm going to grow up. I don't want to.
Getting
grow up.
old is bad enough. I'm not growing up. That's not happening.
It is. Yeah. I don't even, yeah. Too busy. Too busy to get old.
Yeah. Well, and
Too busy to get old.
every week you could catch Jim, No Restrictions podcast,
Yes.
on
Love
the
it.
Pittsburgh Current Network. What do you have some shows coming up? You want to plug anything coming
September
up? before we-
21st at the Steamworks in Gibsonia.
Okay.
It's in September. That's September 21st. Most of them are corporates till then. Night before Thanksgiving, we're looking to do a big show.
We are. Yeah.
With the,
So we're going to
the
do.
Pittsburgh Current newspaper. We're going to do.
Yes,
big-
I believe
big
it's going to
stand-up.
be. I'll preview it here. Why not? Because it's my show. I can do whatever the hell I want.
That's right.
I think it's going to be a Yinzer holiday card extravaganza. So it's going to
is.
have comedy, music. It's going to be awesome. So details will be forthcoming. But basically, just block off
Night
November
before Thanksgiving.
until I can get a date. Yeah.
That's my new thing now. Is I'm getting into singing, the impressions.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna have a full band.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do some singing impressions. I'll do a couple songs in my own voice, but
Yeah. And I think we'll have some guests.
have a guest. Yeah, we'll be one guest at least to interview and talk.
Could we
Scott
have,
Blazy, say for instance, we're talking to
Yeah,
him, maybe
Scott
guest,
come up.
but, Joe Grishecki or whoever, say have them play their favorite song and favorite song they wish they wrote.
Okay.
And stuff
Donnie
like
Iris
that.
will play a Donnie Iris song.
Donnie Iris kills. He's
You
King Cool.
cannot do your own song at a lip sync battle,
You still-
Donnie.
you're
I'm still bitter.
You're still bitter. You got next year now.
I got next year.
I'm gonna pick next year. I
Yeah.
think you should go share. I think
You think I should do Cher?
I
Yeah.
don't know. You did it last night a little bit, and I thought it was good.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I
the
turned
lip
back
at the
time. I
bar.
did do that.
You did turn back time. I don't know. You have to think about it though. Yeah. I'm not sure what I'm.
I got a
gonna do.
year.
I
Yeah,
think I
Jim,
might do-
Jim had a celebrity lip sync battle,
Yes.
of which he was kind enough to invite me to. I'm by no means a celebrity, but in
you're-
about Affinity Animal Friends,
Yeah,
which
it was
is
great.
His big.
You were fantastic though.
Thank you. I was Janice.
You did Janet Joplin. The crowd went nuts.
I shot up right before I came on stage. I was, I
Yeah,
was
you
scared.
took it. You took it all. You went at full steam.
Well, because nobody
Very
knew who the
nice.
hell I was. I had to bring it. If I would just went, I mean, it would have been embarrassing.
Yes.
If I would have gone up there and people just would have been like,
And they just screamed and went crazy.
That's right.
You came in probably third.
Jerome Bettis' brother John got his second paddle to give me 2 10s. I mean,
How about that?
drop the mic, walk on
Forget
stage.
about it. Two-
So I'm a really good lip syncer.
You are amazing.
Yeah.
You found your calling.
Oh, my
young
calling.
lady.
Professional lips. Bethany Rue. Professional
Maybe we
lip
can
syncer.
coax her lip sync tomorrow at the party. I don't know. We'll see.
Will I lip sync tomorrow at the party? Probably.
Maybe.
Yes,
We'll
definitely.
coax you up.
I'm also famous for going to see live bands and getting drunk and like somehow wiggling my way on stage to sing with them.
So that'll
That's
happen.
probably gonna
That'll
happen.
happen at tomorrow at the party. We'll all do it.
Yeah,
we'll all
well,
do that.
everybody should do it.
Yes.
Not everybody that's attending, but you should attend. But don't get drunk and rush the stage.
No, we don't want to do that.
Well, this has been a blast. Thank
Thank
you
you,
for getting your
Bethany.
hungover ass up and
For you anytime, you know
making
that.
your way down here.
Thanks, Beth.
Yeah, guys, like I said, make sure you're checking out the No Restrictions podcast. This one coming up Monday is going to be amazing. Our first live taping. It's a whole different ball of wax.
fun.
You guys are going to love it. Make sure you're coming to the best year ever tomorrow night, 7:30, Flashlight Factory, and then make sure you're supporting Deutschtown and local musicians the whole rest of the weekend. There's a bunch of stuff going on, and I think that's it. We good?
Great. Yeah.
How did you end your show at TV? Like what was your, what do you have, like, sign
no
off?
special. Yeah, no
Nothing?
special. Yeah, salute. I'm kidding.
Salute.
Yeah, let's do a salute. The Bethany salute. We'll call it. Yeah, we need to send it for you. All right, like this.
fireball
Do
shot.
this. Do this and this. There, the salute.
This and this.
Yeah, this and this is our. For
It's our new
all right?
one.
That's
We
the way
got
you
it.
should
We got a
close the
thing.
show. Every
I
time
love
you
it.
got to close the show. All
right, I'm gonna do it. All right.
Charlie goes, but you want what?
Charlie's like,
Just
what'd
go.
you do? All right, guys, this is going to be my new sign off.
All right,
Ready?
ready? Go through it.
Until we see you
Sure.
again, which will hopefully be tomorrow night, this is Pittsburgh Current Podcast.
A better alternative. Giving Pittsburgh a better alternative. Giving Pittsburgh a better alternative.